All right. Welcome to a video. I'm trying something new. I think I might stick with this, the Hotep hustle. I was watching a video earlier and someone was trying to distance himself from both the phrases Hotep and Pan-Africanism, which I think is a disgrace. People have demonized Hotep, uh, to be a representation of somebody who was intellectually dishonest and it seeks to um what am I trying to say? Seeks to exploit others for their own personal gain or personal enjoyment. That's not what this is. They are attempting to take Pan-Africanism and the movement of the conscious movement back to its docile state. It is a weaponized term, and I'm embracing that term and bringing honor and clarity to the situation, right? So, what I am going to speak about tonight. Now, I'm going to say like and subscribe. I never say that, but I'm definitely going to say like and subscribe because I am trying to grow my channel. You know, I've come to a conclusion a while ago based upon the views. Like, I'm really just going to do this for my own personal edification, right? Because I grow each and every time I do a video, because I do the research and it makes me more competent as a person in what it is that I do, what it is that I represent. So I don't necessarily mind the work because, I grow with every video that I do because of the research that it takes to do what I do. And so but I'm not gonna lie, it does feel good when I can reach other brothers and sisters like or dislike my content, agree or disagree with what it is that I do. Um, it still feels good. So I'm gonna say, what I see other people say. Like and subscribe to the channel, you know, if you like the video. So what this video is going to do is basically just talk about topics that really need to be reinforced. And today's video is going to discuss, the greatness of ancient Kemet and just really one aspect of it. I'm really just going to talk about one aspect of ancient Kemet, ancient Egypt, and that's the pyramids, right? Because no matter what you say, no matter what you do, you cannot get away from the greatness, the construction greatness of the pyramids, right? And they're not just tombs. They had spiritual significance from the alignment to the stars to even possible initiatory spaces. There's a book written by a man that discusses the possibility of the pyramids being spots and spaces for initiations. But we'll get into that a little later on. Right now, we're just going to discuss the basics that it was not built by aliens. So if you into that, I'm not going to support that claim at all. There's no reason to support the claim that the ancient Egyptian pyramids were built by aliens. Uh that only goes along with the man who wrote the book The Chariot of the Gods assertion that how could these savages have built such great structures? No, no, we're not going to do that at all, right? We know that the pyramids were constructed by African minds, African people, African greatness. And you know, those of us that are Hoteps, so to speak, those of us that are Pan-African, that is what we seek to reclaim. The mindset that allowed us back in the day, before we had all of this advanced technology, to organize ourselves in such a way that we could build not only the pyramids, but a great society that impacts and has lasted, whose legacy lasts even till this day. You do not have United States without the foundational Egyptian civilization. That's just bottom line. You don't have any of these Western civilizations. Now you have Asian civilizations, you have Indian civilizations because they're on their own timeline. They're based upon their own foundational understandings. But in reference to the West and its connection to greater Africa, Egypt is the place. You don't get a Plato, you don't get an Aristotle without Egypt. You don't get a Thales, you don't get a Heraclitus without Egypt. And this is the importance of Egypt. So anyway, I'm gonna just move into this presentation, right? So we know that the pyramids, they were built, this was human engineering, moving boulders, moving stones that weighed tons with tools, with the tools that they had back then. There were no cranes. It was just human ingenuity, human power, human muscle. It was human strategy, human logistics that went into the construction of all of these great monuments, right? So don't let anybody ever tell you anything different. Now, there was this engineer or this worker who worked on the project. His name was Merer, and he was basically a foreman on this project. I'm gonna go ahead. I thought I put it in here, but I didn't. But the diary of Merer, right? In this diary, we can read we can read a portion of how they were constructing the pyramids. Now, you got a diary of a man who was there constructing, helping work on the construction of the pyramid of Khafre, right? And then in his diary, we can read what was being done, right? He said, we transported 1,700 blocks of limestone from the quarry to the foot of the Great Pyramid. This is documented. Like, these are documents that date back 4,500 years discussing the construction of the Great Pyramid. Yet we still have people that want to believe aliens came in and did this. We still have people that want to believe that Hebrew slaves came and did this when nothing could be further from the truth. We have documented evidence of who built the pyramids, but people still want to do this alien joint, right? Right. So that's a major operation that we're talking about here, right? It's logistics, ancient logistics that's on a whole nother level, right? First of all, they had to figure out how to move these stones across the Nile. They were probably using boats and barges and things like that. Then they had to get them from the river to the site. And it wasn't just about pure strength. It was about efficiency and coordination, right? They also had to get the blocks up high. So they had to build ramps, like super-sized skate ramps. You know what I'm saying? Like huge ramps to get the job done. And then when you read the diary of Merer, it tells you how they built the ramps. He says, we built a ramp of wood to transport the blocks to the higher levels of the pyramid. He tells you how they are building it. It's wild. So, this is about the reclamation of the greatness of the melanated mind and the freedom from the darkness of Western mindset, right? Anybody, black, white, Asian, Native American, doesn't matter. If you want to free yourself from the darkness that is inherent inside the Western mindset to shed truth inside the lies, then go ahead and listen to what it is that I am talking to you about, right? We are discussing exactly how this was built. It was built by African ingenuity. You know what I'm saying? African black people, melanated people with a melanated mind. Before there was ever a Christian on the planet, before there was ever a Hebrew on the planet, we were creating greatness. We were great people. We had a philosophy, a theology that allowed us to peer into the mysteries of the universe and win information from the mysteries of the universe. Right? That is what we are talking about. Like, I'm gonna comment on a video that I heard or I was watching earlier talking about, is Christianity an African religion? Or something of that nature. And it is not. Although it has and it been influenced by certain elements of Africa, you have African people in it, but we can't get away from the fact that it's not. But that takes us away. That's taking us away from the discussion that we're having right now on the construction of the pyramids, which is really this is just meant to be a brief video in a series of videos that I'm gonna put together. Like and subscribe. Like I said, if you like the content, I'm gonna definitely make the channel grow and present other evidence and things that I have. Now, I'm also a metaphysic mystic. That's just how it goes. I work with and use the divination system, and I promote meditation, holistic living, and attunement to the universal energies. So you can get me on that if you like, and we can talk, have those conversations. But I do promote that, understand that, and that's where that is. Now, when it comes to other methods that they use to build the pyramids, right? Marer's diary, it doesn't really explicit. These are fragments, right? All you have with Marer's diaries is like is they have hundreds of fragments that they hobbled together, right? So in that diary, it doesn't explicitly state the use of pulley systems and counterweights, but it does provide, insight into the techniques that they use to move the blocks, right? It describes the use of sleds, ropes, levers, and then there was a combination of methods, including suggesting there was like some type of pulley system that they might have used, right? Now, it also talks about it wasn't just like a few people, right? They had thousands of people working on this, right? The diary talks about a workforce involved in this construction project, mentioning thousands of workers who were responsible for transporting the blocks, right? Um, he states that we fed 2,300 workers with bread, beer, and meat. you know, a lot of organization for back in the day, a lot of organization, a lot of planning, a lot of metrics, a lot of strategy involved in doing this, right? They had to organize the labor, provide food and water, how many cooks. You understand what I'm trying to say here? Just the people to cook it, the people to grind the grain to make the beer. I mean, it was an entire project going on here, right? And then it really wasn't just about physical labor, right? The engineers themselves were deep thinkers, right? They had a profound yo, 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 what's up, Chris? Peace, peace. Hope all is well and blessed with you, brother. Um, I'm just trying to get my joint up. Talking about some stuff here that, most of us really know, but I figure, I could definitely expound upon the concepts here, right? And then talk about the Diary of Merer, which most people don't understand to get this whole aliens built the pyramids thing out the door. Um, but the people that built the pyramids, they were also pre-scientists, initiated, either into the theology of Heliopolis, the theology of Memphis or Marin Ptah, or the theology of Heliopolis. Those were the three dominant theologies back in the day, and that's the way it goes. So this is what happened. These were African people, melanated brothers and sisters that were able to construct these great monuments that still baffle the mind to this day, organize their society in such a way where they could feed thousands of people at this one site from this documented evidence that we have, historical, archaeological, documented evidence of how the pyramids were constructed, right? And this is just a minuscule insight into the greatness of the minds of the Africans that built this civilization. And so, like and subscribe to the video. If you like what I said, if what I'm talking about here, um, go ahead and check out the Diary of Merer, Merer, right? It's they don't it's in fragments. There's a PDF document that you can kind of get online if you just go ahead and type in what I said, type, dot PDF, and you can read it and then read all of this information that I'm talking to you about, and so when these people come at you with the Hebrews built the pyramids are aliens built the pyramids, you can slap them with some archaeological evidence and say, no, here's a documented diary of a foreman that actually worked on the pyramid, and this is what he said on how they were building how they went through the process of building these great monuments, right? So that's it for this part of the presentation. This is going to be a series. We're going to talk about different things, different elements of African melanated civilization that made it great and why. Deconstructing from the Western paradigm, the Western mindset, deconstructing the inconsistencies and the contradictions within the biblical framework is important. And going back to a naturalistic Afrocentric mindset is better for everybody and the planet in general because it gives you the ability to look inside and look at nature, see the patterns that are in nature, and then figure out how to make that work for you. All right, I'm out. Hope everybody